Decades Challenge rules, 1980s, the yuppies. All rules from the 1970s still stand with the following changes. Any Sims born during this decade must take one of the following traits: ambitious, self-assured, materialistic, snob, and or perfectionist. Computers are now allowed for gaming. You must use the gaming consoles with televisions. Television time restrictions is changed from 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. Marble flooring is now allowed. Hot pots are allowed. Handheld vacuums are now allowed. These are all of the careers that are allowed in this time frame. And as usual, I will post the rules in so that you can read those on your own time. One Sim in this generation must be in the business career. Veterans can still receive their pension. We do have ourselves a new holiday that we're going to be adding for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. On the Winter Monday, they have some restrictions here that we'll be putting in. Babies must be born at the hospital. Ball pits are allowed. Hedgehogs are now a thing. You can own a hedgehog. Music production table is allowed. Science babies are allowed. And in cast, top surgery scars are allowed. So as you can see, we have entered into the 1980s. Welcome in, Ravens. It has been a while since we have done a video, but we are back and I am so glad to see you guys. So we are going to jump right in with our Decades Challenge, and we have us a very sad Charles here. We have unfortunately had some changes to our family tree. We have a mourning in the process. The death of a loved one affects those closest to them. Sims can mourn at a tombstone to feel more at peace. And also it says that he has some shared sadness. Seeing that someone Charles cherishes is suffering makes him sad. They have recently lost their mother, Norma. In the process of me getting them set up for the 1980s, we lost sweet Norma. Unexpectedly, she was at work, and we have had a loss in the family. It says it's hard to see those closest to us pass away from losing a parent. She is very sad. They are both very sad from losing their mother unexpectedly. She was at work. She was working her tail off at the art gallery, and unfortunately, she was not taking care of her needs. We weren't paying attention. She came back home and then she dropped dead in the front lawn from starvation. I tried to get Charles to plead with the Grim Reaper to see if we could bring her back, but unfortunately that was a no-go. And a lot had kind of taken place in the story, and I was like, I am not going to go ahead and undo that. We are just going to continue to play on. So we unfortunately did lose Norma. So that is unfortunate turn of events, but not only did Charles lose his mother, he also has lost his father to old age. So both of his parents have deceased now. And also Rebecca has lost her father to old age as well. So both of our kids have lost their parents, which is unfortunate. An upside is we do have Charles here who has gotten married. He is married to his new bride, Annika. You can't really see her here. She is taking herself a little bit of a sleep, but she is our new bride. So he is a young adult. He is married now. So we do have ourselves a wife. When she gets up out of bed, we'll take a look at her. But he is, as you can see, pretty sad by the loss of his mother. And he is now the head of our household. And generation has moved on to him as he is now a young adult. So he is leading us in our next generation. I believe he is Gen 4. So yeah, we have moved right along in our storyline with the 1980s and our new generation being with Charles. And the story is continuing on quite seamlessly. They are just kind of picking up here a little bit and moving on about their day. It is about 9 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. It is, as you can see, 1980, and the decade has changed. There has been a little bit of a change to our home as far as the decor goes. I kind of gave the house a tiny little bit of a facelift in regards to some of the flooring and a little bit of the wall furnishings. We're going to go ahead and get him enrolled in the business career. Since someone in this generation does have to be in the business career, we'll go ahead and make that be Charles. and we'll get him working on fixing this dishwasher that has busted up. I think that will work out for him going ahead and doing the business career. We know that he is not really keen on painting, so I don't think he'd want to take over the gallery. I know that Rebecca is keen on the gallery, but I think that Charles, being as upset as he is with the unexpected loss, to be completely honest, the gallery was not doing well. We were taking her into the gallery and she was only selling one painting a day. One lousy painting a day. The gallery was not doing well at all. I think he would be like, this gallery killed my mother. I think that's how he's going to look at it. And based on the fact that he's going to be bitter about this gallery and the fact that it took their mother from him, or from them, I guess I should say, I think he is going to want to sell it. So even though Rebecca is into painting, I think he would be like, you can paint your paintings and you can do that all you want. You can sell them on the side, but we're not keeping this gallery. This gallery stole our mother from us and it's just not worth the pain. And I think him being a young adult, he was going to have more power over that business than Rebecca is, and he is going to have the opportunity to get rid of that, and Rebecca's not really going to have much of a say in it. So we're going to head him over when he gets a chance to the gallery, and we will sell that gallery out from under this family and get rid of that gallery. But in the meantime, he is feeling a little bit hungry, so we'll just go ahead and let him eat his breakfast here, and then when Annika gets up, we'll meet our lovely bride, because you guys haven't had a chance to meet her. He had met her when he was a teenager. She was a little bit older than him, and he had gotten a little bit smitten with her, and they had built up a really nice friendship. But once he became a young adult, they had turned that friendship into a bit of a romance, and they started really becoming real flirty, and he just asked her, will you be my girlfriend? And then once he lost his mother, he was really, really saddened by that loss and quickly proposed to her. She accepted, and they eloped because he was unfortunately just really, really sad. And I think maybe he wasn't really using his head, and he just really wanted someone there for him to comfort him, and he really rushed into this marriage with Annika quite quickly. But he is married to Annika. And yeah, so they just really rushed into it quite quickly. I think Rebecca was kind of shocked by the whole turn of events as well. These two are quite close, but she's like, I can't believe you rushed into this marriage with Annika as quickly as you did. Like, we know that you were smitten with her, and I know she was coming around a lot, but like, for you to just up and marry her so fast, like, no one really had a chance to get to know her very, very well before you just up and married her. Like, one minute Mom was here, the next minute Annika's moved in, and you guys are married, and like, the house just really took a lot of changes really quick. And he's like, I realized that, but everything just turned upside down on me, and I just don't know how I feel, and I just needed someone there for me. I needed someone to comfort me. Annika was that person that he wanted to lean on. And yeah, unfortunately, Rebecca's not understanding it, but Charles is very happy with Annika. He is very, like I said, smitten with her. And this is our lovely bride, Annika. She is quite dashing, if I do say so myself. And she is going to go ahead and go on downstairs and grab herself some breakfast. She's quite hungry this morning. We'll have her get herself a bite to eat, and then she can grab herself a bit of a shower because she does need a little bit of hygiene. But she is our lovely bride. She also is quite smitten with her husband, Charles. She wasn't bothered at all by the fact that he kind of sprung this engagement and marriage on her as quickly as he did. She, like I said, was very close friends with him, and so she was not bothered at all by the fact that this kind of just came up on them the way it did. She reached out to him after he lost his mother and was just like, I am so sorry for the loss of your mom. I can't believe that, she passed so suddenly, and is there anything that I can do to help, bring your spirits up? And he's like, yeah, you can come around and you can make me feel better. And one thing led to another, and here we are. So they are just moving along in their happy little lives. She is obviously, in this new relationship with him and just trying to make the most of it. So we do have us a whole new dynamic here in this house, and a new generation, a new everything that we are going to have to kind of learn. Obviously, Rebecca is without a mom, so she's now kind of being raised by her very close brother, which is a new kind of dynamic in itself. I mean, to go from being really, really close to your brother to now having your brother kind of raise you the rest of the way through your teen years is going to be a little bit maybe difficult for her. Thankfully, they do have a really close relationship, so it maybe won't be too bad for Rebecca, but we'll just have to see. Time will only tell. But hopefully they will not have to mourn for too long over this loss of Norma. I know that sometimes they do mourn for quite some time, but I'm just hoping that there is some good things that happen in their life that will hopefully get them in some better spirits, because as of right now, everyone is quite sad. It looks like we have Annika here who is feeling pretty uncomfortable. She is uncomfortable from the bed. She's uncomfortable from having some filthy clothing, but she wants to be a lady of the knits. So we are going to have her go ahead and start practicing some knitting, seeing if she can get her knitting skill up. She wants to be a knitter, and I kind of love that for her, that she has a hobby that she loves in knitting. And so we're going to try to build that for her and see if she can go ahead and get some knitting skill up. She is definitely flying through the knitting here, and she seems to be enjoying it, aside from the fact that she is overall in an uncomfortable mood. But aside from that, she seems to be pleasantly enjoying the knitting. I do know that in some cases I have Sims that really struggle with the knitting. She is, though, disliking this backyard music, so we'll let her dislike that. That's fine. Clearly she doesn't have a taste for that, so we'll go ahead and change the station for her and see if we can get that turned off so that she can go ahead and maybe not be tortured by that music. We're gonna go ahead and go sell this store here, and he has decided to go ahead and sell the art gallery like I had said he was going to do. So we're gonna go and sell this shop now. So we'll have him walk on in here and sell the store. He has made the decision to go ahead and get rid of the art gallery like I said he was going to do. Like, he's like, I think this place is a bad omen. It's the reason that our mom is no longer with us. If it wasn't for this place, she never would have worked herself to the bone. She wouldn't have, we wouldn't have lost her if it wasn't for this place. So it says, upon confirmation, your retail funds and the lot value will be deposited into your household. The household will earn you $28,252 from this sale. Okay, we're going to do that. So we'll go ahead, and now that this place is sold, we'll send him on home, and we will write this place off as, just a part of Norma's past, yes, and we tried, we failed. I mean, whatever. She did good on her first day, but then it kind of went downhill from there. But he is just not interested in it. He feels like, it just was too much. So now that we're back home, he's feeling like, he's feeling fine now. Like, getting rid of that store made him a little bit happier about everything. Like, it's almost like it lifted a weight off of his shoulders. He's like, okay, mom is gone. Yes, I'm sad. I hate that she's gone. But at the end of the day, I can't change the past. Oh, and she's calling to congratulate him on a job that he got. Okay, thanks so much, Mom. That's not creepy at all. He just feels like a weight's lifted now that this art gallery has been sold. He can kind of go ahead and move on, be a little bit more at peace now that that's not hanging over him. So I think that overall is a good thing. I'm going to go ahead and get Annika in here. She's going to continue on doing a little bit of house chores. She definitely likes things very neat and tidy. She's constantly doing the cleaning in the house and picking up. So we love that. She is definitely wanting things tidy and neat in this house. She's definitely a neat freak. I don't think that's actually one of her traits, but it would not surprise me in the least if that becomes one of her traits. Like, if it's one of those things where it changes in the future, where she's like, I've realized that I want to be neat. Because honestly, She's constantly cleaning this place. It's not even a filthy place. Our house is pretty clean, but she's constantly cleaning it. And so we got a marriage certificate in the mail, so we'll go ahead and we will hang that on the wall. And when we get a chance, we'll get a family photo with Annika and Charles to put on the wall as well, so that we'll have that here for our family wall, since we have photos of each generation here. And that will be beautiful for us to have, because I like having generational photos on the wall so that we can have our memories. And those move with us from house to house. And not that we've moved from house to house, because this is our original lot, but the house has just changed over the years. But those photos have stayed with us ever since, well, the 1800s. As you can see, Rebecca and Charles are still very, very close, and we love that for them. Just going to have Rebecca come on upstairs and finish these paintings that she had started, because she has both easels tied up with paintings that she has began and not completed. And then I am going to change Charles's bedroom that he used to occupy into an office. So let's go ahead and get to decorating that space and change it up into an office space, because he does need an office space for his business career that he can do some reports and things in. Okay, so I am just going to go ahead and get Charles upstairs and in here doing a little bit of his reports for his job, because he does need to fill out reports for his work task. So we will get him up here and filling out reports for his work task for the day. I just need to remember where that is located. I think it's under web, but I am not positive. Let's take a look. Yes, fill out reports. All right, so we'll get him filling out his reports so he can do his work task. As you can see, Rebecca is still working on those paintings, which is perfect. She finished the one in her bedroom. Now she's just working on the one in the hall there. And as you can see, we have Annika, who is just down here cleaning up. She is walking around the house, cleaning everything. I do want her working on some of her knitting, but she is like, I can't be bothered with that right now. I have got to clean everything in this house. The kitchen is a mess. But let's go ahead and get her to just call everyone down for a meal and let her grab herself a bite as well, because I do think she is feeling a little bit hungry. And so we'll allow her to go ahead and do that. And then, yeah, she's got a little bit of a hunger issue there. Not much, but we'll just go ahead and let her get something to eat anyway. And everyone can go ahead and grab themselves a serving of this soup that she has made, which is fantastic. So we will also go ahead and get Rebecca to come down while she's eating. We are going to have her just go ahead and speak with Annika a little bit. I want them to go ahead and get their relationship up some. I would like for them to become friendly. It would be nice if they could be friends. I want her to have a close relationship with Annika. She does have a very, very close relationship with her brother Charles. So it would be nice for her to be able to get on with her sister-in-law. I think that them having a close relationship is going to be very important. So I want her to congratulate her on her marriage, and then just them spend some time getting to know one another, and she can enthuse about the meal that she just had, and they can just spend some time discussing interests and things of that nature. So they're just going to spend some time talking to one another, and we will hopefully build up their friendship here, and they can talk about some dreams and things of that nature. So obviously it looks like we have Annika, who has recently become pretty tense after talking with our dear, sweet little Rebecca, and it is probably not good that that's happened, but yeah, it has gone down like that. It says that she's tense after talking with a cheerful Sim. I guess she says that she is cheered to death. Cheering can often be contagious, but sometimes it can also be painfully grating. Okay. Clearly, she is not too into Rebecca's cheerful ways. So her cheerfulness kind of is getting on her nerves a little bit. I don't really know a way around that. So Rebecca's cheerfulness kind of gets a little bit on Annika's nerves. That could make this a little bit more difficult for them to become friends if every time she talks to her, it's going to make her tense. But we're still going to try. I want to build up that relationship the best I can, because I do want them to be friends. I really do. And I want them to be close, if not for their own sake, but especially for Charles, because I want them to be able to get on. Damn it, Annika. What the hell are you like? All right, so Charles finally finished filling out those reports for work. He is eating supper by himself. The girls already finished theirs, obviously, and now he is just doing his supper all by himself. And Rebecca's gone off to bed. Annika is just upstairs kind of tending to herself there, and then we'll have her go on to bed. Once he has finished his meal, we'll get him into bed. It is about 9 o'clock at night, and then we will wrap things up for them and let them go ahead and head off to bed. So we will just go ahead and get Charles ready for bed here. He's just going to kind of clean up a little bit, and then he will head himself off to bed. Annika is really not feeling very tired. She is going to probably go ahead and do a little bit more house chores and tending to things around the house. They are just going to go ahead and tell them, each other their good nights, hold hands, and do a little bit of I love yous. And he's like, I love you, honey. I'm going to go ahead and head up to bed. I'm feeling really tired after a long day. And she's like, that's fine, love. I just have a few more things that I need to get done for the evening before I head up to bed myself. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. You do what you need to do. I'm just feeling really tired, so I'm going to go ahead and head on up. And she's like, okay, love. So he's going to head on up to bed. She is going to head to the washroom, and then she is going to probably go on outside and deal with the chickens and things like that, because no one has dealt with the chickens. We do need to clean the coop and collect the eggs, and she has lots of energy, so we'll have her be the one that will go on out and take care of the chickens and things like that. So I'm going to have her just clean the coop and scatter some feed, and she can take care of those things. And then once she has taken care of all of that, she can go ahead and head herself off to bed as well. So she is just cleaning the coop now. I don't know why it let her do that at the front door instead of actually going to the coop, but now she's running to the coop, and it's just, you know, the glitches in the game are a lot of fun. We are just going to roll with it. It'll be fine. But she's cleaning up the coop, and then we will go ahead and have her scatter some feed, and then she can head herself off to bed. Annika is pregnant. There's going to be a new addition to the household. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, she's decided, you know what? They don't need food after all. I'm pregnant, and now I'm tired all of a sudden. So she's like, I'm going to bed. All right, you do you, girl. You do you. And so Annika's headed off to bed. She's like, I need some rest. I just realized that I'm carrying a baby, and I must go rest. So we're going to let her go ahead and get some rest, and I'll check back with you guys in the morning. Okay, it is the next morning. Danica is up. She is pregnant, as we know, and feeling a little bit of morning sickness, but she's also feeling pretty hungry. So I'm going to go ahead and have her get in here into the kitchen and get herself a little bit to eat. And then, as we know, my face is a mess. I can't go anywhere looking like this. It's fine. Don't overreact. And her manners have increased. Okay, Charles is on point helping out Rebecca. We love that. And like I said, we're going to have Annika go ahead and get herself some breakfast here. And then once she's done with her breakfast, we are going to need to have her go on outside and tell Charles the great news about them expecting, because he doesn't know yet. He is oblivious. As we know, last night he had gone on to bed when she found out that she was expecting, and then she went to bed, and this morning he has no idea. She has gotten up and come straight down to the kitchen for food, and he hasn't seen her yet. So he is completely oblivious, has no clue, and so she is definitely going to need to tell him, like, hey, guess what? We are having a baby. And I think that Charles is going to be super ecstatic with this news. I really think that he's going to love this, for the simple fact that Charles is a family guy, so I think that he's going to want to know this information. He's going to be thrilled about this information. He loved having Rebecca around when she was a baby, and obviously loved having a little sibling. So he just always was a really family-oriented kind of kid, kind of person, and I think that he is going to love this. So she's come on outside. She's going to go over here, and we are going to tell Charles the big news. And she's like, Charles, honey, guess what? I'm expecting. And he's like, oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. Are you serious? Yes, this is amazing news. And so as you can see, he is thrilled. They are going to become best friends. And I mean, obviously they are best friends anyway. They became really close really fast in their relationship. And then that led into some wonderful romance, and then they got married, and they are just absolutely smitten with one another, and now expecting their first child. And she's just showing him the positive pregnancy test, and he is so thrilled. Look how happy they are together. Oh my goodness, they are so precious. But guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you are notified when another episode goes live on the channel, and I will see you guys in our next Decade's Legacy episode. But until then, I'm going to go ahead and fly for now. Bye, Ravens.